it's hard not to have fun around Adam Sandler because it's fucking Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like every day you come to work, and that's actually what's happening.
So I want the Celtics to cover. I want the Celtics halftime. I want Garnett points and rebounds.
This might be like the best movie that he did. He was not the first choice. I read that Jonah Hill was the first guy that you approached.
He was the first choice, but 10 years ago.
Oh, so...
And then, basically, 10 years ago, like, Safdie's had no name in the business at all, and they had an early version of the script, and they sent it to Adam Sandler's manager, who was like, no fucking way. And then for 10 years they were trying different people. Like for a little while they were talking to Sacha Baron Cohen, and they were talking to Jonah Hill, and it came very close to being made with Jonah because the timing was right. Jonah was available, and the pieces were lining. It would have been a different movie, like a different age range, a different character, but it would have explored a lot of the same themes. And I could see a world where that would have been a different but good movie also. And then Sandler was like, yeah, okay, let's do this. And he came back around. So back in like fucking, 2009, Adam Sandler was the first choice, for sure.
How you doing, Holly? How's it going? How are you? Good Pesach out. All right, Larry, you're a Jew again. Welcome back.
The Safdies always knew that this pocket of New York, the Diamond District, was something they really wanted to explore. It was something that nobody had really shot, and it's very insular and a very closed community. And they've been talking about making the movie for so goddamn long. What happened was it took, Josh and Benny's dad at one point in their youth had worked in the district very briefly, and I think that had stuck with them. So it took probably 5 or so years of Josh getting in and getting comfortable with the people in that world enough that it was like when it was actually time to make the movie, he was like, okay, let's all go inside here. You can take reference photos. You can meet these people. And we started, these research trips, and our group just kept getting bigger and bigger. So it took me a really long time to get access to that world at all. But I think when we really were welcomed into the community, it was crazy because it was the kind of New York that you don't see, this middle class, like non-gentrified, it's not a theme park, it's like, it just feels like what New York felt like when I was a kid. So because of that, you also have this sensitivity, like it's like a church. You're in somebody's holy ground, so you want to be very careful about when you're taking photos and what you're taking photos of. And so I would take, hundreds of photos of small wall details, marble, all these little treatment elements that I wanted to use on the stage when we built the Diamond Shop. But what wound up happening is, which was interesting, is that the dealers are primarily either Hasidic Jewish or they're this sect of Mizrahi Jew, which is a very specific region. And I'm Jewish. I didn't know anything about this subculture at all. And it's kind of like Uzbeki, like there's this kind of edge of Soviet influence in terms of style that when you go into their homes and stuff, the palettes are crazy, like frescoes and marble and all these beautifully ornate columns, but with like LED lighting. It was so extreme that even though it would have been more true to the story to make it look like that, I think we felt like what we wound up going with, which is kind of this 90s New York money look, was true to the character. It was in a very similar palette, but it would be much easier for the audience to digest it, So we kind of leaned in that direction. And so we started talking about like kids we knew when we were kids in New York that had the Micro Machines or had the Nintendo 64, and you always had to go to their house and hang out in their basement. It was like, who was that guy? What did their parents do? What was money like when you dreamt of it in 1999? And that's kind of where we got to with that. So like Howard's character is somebody who like he formulated his taste when he was young, but he didn't have the money yet. But he always wanted like the Sony Trinitron TV. And then it's like, okay, but people like that, they stop. They don't evolve past that. So now that he does have money, or as he's had money over the years, he's going to go back and he's going to build that dream life that when he was 20 years old, he thought what being an adult was supposed to look like. And it just kind of like, it fucking flatlines, it's just like,
yeah.
And that's how we got to that aesthetic, I think.
You're taking my money all over town, placing bets. I'm having very serious second thoughts.
Are you serious right now?
I know I fucked up.
Sandler knows when he's doing comedy or when he's doing Punch Drunk Love. Like, he knows that there's two Adam Sandlers in the public.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really take it very seriously. But I do remember when the movie premiered and we all were drinking and we were at the party afterwards, I saw him and he went like this. He goes, "Sammy boy," and I was like, "Oh my god!"
You do a really good Adam Sandler.
I walked up to him and I was like, "Sandman," I was like, this is the best thing. Are you reading? He's like, "I don't like to read all the reviews," and I was like, you should be reading these. It's crazy. You are invisible in this role. And he's like, "Oh, that means a lot." But I think he knows. He must know. He must know when he's making art because he's so good at it.
Is it too late? I'm done. It means nothing. It meant nothing. Please. Give me another shot.
The Weeknd is a real film buff. Like, he cares about cinema, and he has really good taste in movies. I got to hang out with him a little bit, and before we started filming, and he had become friends with Josh primarily. Probably like I think probably like a year and a half before the movie became real, because he wanted to produce, he wanted to like make movies, he wanted to get involved. He just like cares about good movies. There was probably some nervousness from him about becoming an actor and poking fun at himself at the same time, because it's like, okay, you're gonna start acting, which people are gonna be judging you for, and also you're playing yourself. I think also like because it was a period piece and they gave him his old hair, I think it put him in a mindset where he could like become a character instead of having to be cool or whatever.
You like to win, right? This is no different than that. Black June power, nigga. This is my fucking way. You think I'm stupid, Howard? You and your whole fucking family.
The Rock was problematic. It was a wire matrix with plaster that we crafted the Rock out of, the shortest version of the story, and then we notched out. We marked the areas where you'd want to feel opal, and we carved that out, and then we purchased tons and tons and tons of little opals, and then set them in various places. In fact, at one point we were having so much trouble on camera. The Safdies were never happy with the way it was looking, and we went through like 30 different versions of it. And then at one point, Sibo, the producer, like flew to South Africa or something to pick up more opal chunks because there was or maybe it's Australia. He flew to Australia or something because there was great opal there, and we needed it in 2 days, and the fastest way was to just go get it on a plane. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was so crazy.
But yeah.
But yeah, basically it's like a fake rock with a lot of very valuable real opals in it.
Yeah.